What a week, what a season. We took a break, not quite literally here, to participate in the just concluded general election and of course as voters. And what an election it has been.
The register read 22.12 million voters, but a low turnout sent only 14.2 million of us to the polling stations. But that notwithstanding, the Kenyan voter made himself and herself heard in typical Kenyan voter fashion, orderly, peacefully, and freely.
But the Kenyan fashion does not end there. Things have followed the beaten path. Peaceful and orderly voting was followed by long, anxious days of vote counting, and then almost naturally, the disputed result. Tonight, we have a president-elect, but we also have a potential Supreme Court showdown in waiting.
Indeed, those are the marks and stripes of our bumpy democratic story. Hits and misses, rain and shine, laughter and tears, all form part of our ongoing democratic journey. At this point tonight, we are exactly where we have always been at this hour every election year.
A cliffhanger of an election ended in a virtual draw between President-elect William Ruto and veteran opposition leader Raila Odinga. The two presidential contenders separated by an historic narrow margin of just over 200,000 votes. The battle at the ballot ended 50-48 in Ruto's favor, but a mathematical puzzle has been triggered by a divided IEBC. And the verdict may well be made by the 7 Supreme Court judges.
Well, we leave that to the Supreme Court and its 7 wise men and women. But we want to first celebrate what really worked, and we hope what will form part of our electoral culture in future. There was something good about that photograph of Nairobi Governor-elect Johnson Sakaja having a cup of tea with his main opponent, Polycarp Igathe.
The Sakaja-Igathe image communicated civility and political maturity. You see, it's an image we can't take for granted in a country where political careers are built around acrimony and the capacity to be nasty and civil and altogether uncouth. We commend Sakaja and Igathe for the symbolic tea.
And then there is the heartwarming story in Kinango Ward, Kwale County, where the race for MCA was decided by, listen to this, 1 vote, just 1 vote. Then the surprising bit of this is that the loser in that election considered the race to the winner. It was a 3rd time lucky for Richard Itambo, who lost his first race by 300 votes, his second race by 57 votes, and won this one by just 1 vote. The maturity of the two candidates must be lauded for the good example it sets, not just for Kinango Kwale County, but also for a country that is increasingly having to get accustomed to very closely contested elections.
Talking of heartwarming stories, did you hear someone successfully running for office on the back of a donkey, quite literally? George Nene is now the elected MCA for Element Height Award in Nakuru County. He lives in a mud hut and, despite the poor background, defeated a long-serving MCA. We salute Nene for running a campaign of humility in a country that has increasingly made elections a show of opulence and largesse.
We also pay tribute to the success stories about women and leadership. This election has produced an unprecedented number of elected women governors, 7 in total. Nakuru County decorated the women leadership ascendancy story with an all-women lineup of governor, senator, and of course, woman representative.
The National Assembly looks forward to the contribution of Lynette Toto, the youngest female member of parliament, representing Bomet County, among others. But we must offer a polite thumbs down to counties that offered between little and nothing to women aspirants. Nyandarua County and Kirinyaga County elected one female MCA each. The statistics are worse in some other counties.
As we celebrate the good, we must also confront the ugly. The death of Embakasi East returning officer Daniel Musyoka goes down as the darkest blot on this year's election. Musyoka's murder bears similarity with the brutal killing of IEBC ICT manager Chris Msando in 2017. Both Musyoka and Msando ended up cold dead, their bodies dumped in the forest, presumably for reasons related to their work.
Musyoka is dead, but Mohammed Kanyare, an election official in Eldas, Wajir County, is in hospital with an amputated leg. Kanyare was shot in the leg while performing his duties at a tallying center. He too joins the statistics of the election ugly in Kenya.
We speak of physical harm, but we can't forget the ethical and moral damage displayed at the National Tallying Center of the IEBC, where another episode of ugly divisions among the commissioners was on display. The 7-member commission split itself into 2 factions, one revolving around Chairman Wafula Chebukati and the other around Vice Chair Juliana Cherera.
Broadcast media, including ourselves here at Citizen TV, had to split the screen to accommodate the 2 faces of the IEBC. In what was potentially a dangerous show for the country, the IEBC delivered conflicting verdicts on a presidential election result that was way already too close to call. The split screen could have triggered the unknown, if not for the evident, praiseworthy maturity of the Kenyan population.
Indeed, don't we owe it to the maturity of ordinary Kenyans that so far things are going rather well? To the Kenyan Mwananchi, well done, fellow citizen. You have proved maturity and patience in the face of shortfalls from those who should know better. IEBC is in the process of failing Kenyans again, especially in the simple test of leadership and responsibility.
Indeed, the days ahead will survive because of the maturity of the Kenyan voter. Consistently and beyond doubt, the ordinary voter has acquitted himself or herself with a disclaimer we endorse. If anything goes wrong, the Mwananchi is not to blame. Good evening. This is NEWSGANG.
I, Wafula Chebukati, Chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, hereby declares that Ruto William Samoei of ID number 6847208 has been duly elected as the president. I invite the president-elect to come forward and receive his certificate.
Isiyoegemea upande wowote, inayodumu
And of course, the president-elect had a running mate,